Hey everybody, how are you guys? Thank you guys for being here. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. It's beautiful here. The sun is shining. It is a very, very good day. So I hope you guys are all having a good day. Doesn't it just make you feel better when you get up, the sun is shining, it's not freezing outside, like it's going to be a good day today. You know what I mean? So, I wanted to share with you guys I want to talk about this. Good morning, Leslie. Morning, Barbara. Morning, Mary Thomas. So, there's a few things I want to talk about. But you guys, we are living in the upside down and we have been for a few years. Not everybody is going to agree with this. I'm sure it's going to bother some people. But this is the real world. This is the shit that is going on. And these are our kids that are having to suffer because of it. And it's not okay. It's not okay at all. Hey, Sassafras. How are you guys? It's been a few days since I've seen you, so I'm glad you're all here. There's a few things that we're going to go over. There's a bunch of videos that I want you guys to watch. And I want to know what you guys think. Good morning, Pendizzy. I want you guys to let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. All right? I mean, you could do it in chat, but also do it in the comments below. And if you're not catching this live and you're catching this on replay, thank you guys for watching. And make sure you let me know what you think in the comments below. All right. All right, Leslie, I'm going to give it to you. So we've been living in the upside down now for a few years, and it's not getting any better. Kids are just filled with anxiety, confused, don't know what's going on, are so out of touch with reality because schools are indoctrinating them and giving them this agenda and forcing this agenda on them without parental consent. Half of the parents aren't even aware of what is going on. And I think that's crazy. Hello, Michael. And yes, it doesn't matter if you're talking about true crime. Hello, Aaron. It doesn't matter if what you're talking about. You can be talking about true crime. You can talking about real world. You can be talking about all of these things, but reality is reality. You know what I mean? And people need to fight good versus evil in every aspect in life, and it's happening everywhere. So again, we will get into this, but I just want to say thank you guys all for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and make sure you sub to the channel if you have not already done so. All right. So I'm going to share a bunch of videos with you. Obviously, the TikTok videos I have to mute. I cannot play the music because I will get flagged. But apparently, in schools now, Gender Bender Day is a thing. So all girls come to school dressed as boys, and all boys come to school dressed as girls. Now, call me crazy because I was born in '89. I grew up in the '90s. This was not a freaking thing in the '90s. Okay, this was not a thing. I can't even believe that it's a thing today, but again, it's par for the course in the world that we live in, the upside down. Hey, Andrew Dominic. So apparently it is a thing in schools all across the world, apparently. Well, at least in our country anyway. Where they have Gender Bender Day. And a bunch of kids have posted videos on TikTok about Gender Bender Day. So we're just going to cut, they're real short, but I just want you guys to see what the hell is going on here. Okay. So let me share some with you. I miss the '90s too. The '90s was a whole different world. It was nothing like it is today. Hey, Jade Hunter. Okay. So again, hey, Dolly Bear, I do have to mute this, but I'll let you watch the video. So this is Gender Swap Day. I mean, can we just stop for a second pretending that this is normal? because this is not normal. Now, I feel like some people, yeah, probably looked at it as like, oh, this is a joke. This is funny. I'm going to go to school in a skirt today. This shit's not funny. And I feel like their parents were like, okay, like, because today it's a normal thing. You know what I mean? But back in the day, back in the 90s, I know none of my friends, none of my guy friends would have been like, yeah, I'm going to wear a dress to school today. Like, there was no gender bender day. Your coat hanging in the laundry room. Why?
I can't grab it.
Why do you need it?
Is it okay for those Dad?
Did you ask Dad?
Well,
Okay.
Do we need wet pants?
No. Love you. Okay, so I'm just going to let this play. I never. And you know what's scary is that celebrities that, you know, like you have, what's that guy's name? Nas X or Lil Nas X or whatever his name is. Like you have these celebrities that dress like this, that wear dresses, and that people think that it's cool. It's not cool, guys. It's not cool at all. All right, now I'm going to get rid of that one. Now let me show you this next. Sorry. Okay. I mean, let me go over here to chat real quick. Did y'all have gender bender day in school? I mean, have y'all even ever heard of such a thing? That was not a thing back then. Okay, let me pull up this next video. I couldn't not believe how many TikTok videos there were of this garbage. Seriously. All right, mute it. Today was gender bender at school, and this is how it went. Oh, my Lord. Okay, now let me just say that had I been one of these parents and my kid was like, listen, Mom, tomorrow's gender bender day at school and I need to borrow a dress, I would be like, that is grounds for pulling your little ass right out of school. Like, that's how I feel. All right. So it's so insane. Yeah, nobody ever heard that shit in my day either. I mean, it's insane. And it's insane that schools do this and that people think it's okay and it's funny and it's cute. It is not cute. I did see a book in kids section, can't remember the name, but it was the Asian style book you read back to front. It's called Oh, that's great. Group suicide. That's nice. Okay. Now let me share this one with you. I think this is the last one of these. Yeah, this is the last one of the gender bender videos. And then we'll talk a little bit. So let me mute this and then play it. And these are all different dates. So apparently all different schools are doing this. Like, it is scary. And Gen Z, can I just say, what the hell happened to that generation? The kids that were born in 2000s? Like, it's so crazy to me that this is their normal. Whoa, this is their normal life. It's not normal. But to Gen Z it is. And unfortunately, Gen Z is this upcoming generation. So these are going to be the people that have obviously already been indoctrinated, already confused about what their gender is supposed to be, already think it's okay for boys to wear dresses to school, already think it's okay for boys and girls to use the same bathroom. Like, this is the people that are going to be in politics. These are the people that are going to be running the country. And that should scare the shit out of everybody. It is scary, and it should scare you. It should scare every parent out there. Betty said we weren't allowed to dress like thugs and skanks in school. Oh, geez. Yeah, I know. Dolly, don't forget the Baphomet is both male and female. Very good point. Yes. Okay. So let's listen to this father, because more parents should be like this dad right here. And I am going to play this. So we'll see how that goes with YouTube.
5 years old to have compulsory lessons on gender identity
ideology. Sorry, hold on. I'm sorry, you guys. I forget to mute my end because
What the fuck is going on? For too long, people that don't agree with these regimes have stepped back and said nothing because they thought it's easier not to. These people are just going to go away. And now look what's happened. I wholeheartedly disagree with these things. This is why I'm on TikTok having this conversation, because I do not care about the backlash. I have 2 boys, ages 3 and 2. And for what I'm being told, I'm not going to be able to exclude them from this crap. I'm not going to be able to dictate what my kids of that age are going to be able to be absorbing at school. We need everyone to start looking at what we're allowing, control the narrative, and not have one side of an argument completely wiped off the side. If you don't agree with these things, and there's a lot of these things that are coming into society now which are ludicrous, we need to start speaking up.
Hey, Princess Megan. Hey, Charlotte. Yes, we do. Parents need to start speaking up. Stop worrying about hurting people's feelings. Stop worrying about being politically correct. Hey, Muse News. Thank you for coming. If more people did that, we would live in a better world. I mean, we wouldn't be in the upside down right now. But no, people want to sit back, not say anything. They want to worry about being politically correct. They want to worry about, oh, well, if I say this, I might offend somebody. Hey, get real, please, because the whole world has been like that forever. But now everybody wants to change it because everybody is way too sensitive. Listen, people say shit all the time that I don't agree with. Do I think they should be canceled for it? Absolutely not. People say things all the time that other people don't agree with. But should you have to stop being you? Should you have to stop saying your opinion? Should you have to stop standing up for what you think is right because you might offend somebody else? No. No. And that's the problem with the world today. Oh, thank you, Aaron. But in reality, this is the world that we live in. So it is a scary place because you can't just say your opinions without a bunch of backlash. You can't just say how you feel or things that the things that you really hold. Like, what happened to morals? Like, what happened to all of that? It's all gone. Now, if you disagree with the agenda that they're trying to push, or you disagree with the shit that's going on in schools and you stand up, well, you must be a phobic. You know what I mean? Well, there must be something wrong with you. No, we're still normal. It's the rest of the world that went a little haywire. Yes, we did, Sassafras. We had to put our hands down, like stand up straight, put your hands down, and your shorts weren't allowed to be shorter than your fingertips. You know what I mean? Obviously kids did, but that was the rule back in the day. And that's the problem. Thank you, Aaron. That was going to be my next point. Listen, if you can't talk about Jesus or God in schools because it offends somebody, then you best not be talking about transgenderism, pushing that bullshit, or anything else. Politics don't belong in schools. But if you're going to have politics in schools, then you better damn sure include Jesus and God in schools. I mean, that's crazy to me. That is how you know we are living in the upside down. You can't talk about God or Jesus because it may offend somebody who is not of that religion. But you can teach kids that it's okay to be sexually confused. It's okay to be a girl or a boy. It's all in how you feel. Well, that shit offends me. That shit offends other kids in school who were raised in households where that was not normal. But that's okay. Right? That's how the world is. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let me get to this next thing. And I think it's crazy. I think it's ludicrous. Let me find it. Right here, actually. Let's play this video. Hold on, let me get that off the screen. All right, let me mute my end. I'll talk to you guys in just a minute. All right, so man gets kicked out of the Mall of America because of his Jesus t-shirt. Now, I'm going to play the video and then I'll give you my feedback.
I understand that,
Right.
but Jesus is associated with religion and it's offending people.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not the religion. It's about eternal life.
Okay, but it's the same thing. Okay, people have been offended, and like I said, all we were asking you is to take your shirt off. You can go to Macy's or we can leave.
I didn't say anything though. I didn't speak. I didn't speak. I didn't say anything. Just went to Macy's.
Just enough you wear the shirt, you walk around the mall.
Oh, I was going to say to that.
So again, I'm giving you can give it yourself options.
Why are you making sure we got the shirt?
You can go to Macy's, you can do your shopping, or you can leave the mall. Okay, those are your only options right now.
Okay.
Unless you want to be placed in another. If you want to shop here, you need to take that shirt off.
What is wrong with what is the problem with what is wrong with my t-shirt? What's wrong with my t-shirt?
Again, sir, it is religious soliciting. There is no soliciting allowed on mall property, which is private property. Okay? So again, we've had guests come to us.
Cut out and then shop.
Exactly.
What is
Just
wrong
take
with
it
my
off the
t-shirt?
shop, man. That's all we want.
No, I'm serious. I know the quality t-shirt.
But you were
last
on private
time I was here, they told me to leave for 24 hours. I did. Yes, that day I was preaching. Yeah, I was preaching the gospel that day.
Yeah. You're still soliciting. And again,
I'm working.
yes, you're walking wearing that shirt in the form of soliciting, and we've had guests come up saying that they've been offended by your shirt.
Who'll say that?
We've had guests come up and say you've been offended. So, like this gentleman just said too, take the shirt off and you can go shopping. That's simple.
Sir, Mickey.
I will be forced.
I mean, is that not the most insane fucking thing you've ever heard? So he was like, sir, I'm going to need you to either change your shirt or leave the mall because several people have come up to us and said that they were offended by your shirt. By the way, those of you that cannot see his shirt, it says Jesus saves. On the back, it says Jesus is the only way. But they were telling him that because he was wearing that shirt, he needs to leave the mall or he needs to change his shirt because people are offended. I guarantee you that if you walked around that mall, you'd see at least, at minimum, probably 5 dudes walking around in a dress. But that's not offensive to anybody. Or somebody wearing a Satan t-shirt, but that's fine. But because this guy had a Jesus shirt on, and people got offended by that, they went to security. They said, listen, I seen a guy wearing a Jesus shirt. I don't, that's not my thing. I feel offended by that. Can you please remove him from the mall? That is the biggest load of garbage that I have ever heard. I would have been like, excuse me, absolutely not. I will not leave this mall. I have the right to wear whatever the hell I want to wear, right? If everybody can wear what they want to wear, then don't come after me because I wear a t-shirt of who I think is my Lord and Savior. I mean, it's just ridiculous. People need to get over it. I would have threw a fit. I would have threw an absolute fit. Like, they would have had to call the cops to remove me from that mall because of my freaking t-shirt. That was Mall of America. But it's just a big bunch of bullshit. Anything like that is going to be attacked. But anything that promotes their agenda, their shit that they want to push, the new normal, is okay. And us people who don't agree with it have to deal with it. I mean, it's so ridiculous. It bothers me. I know. I want to go buy a bunch of Jesus shirts now and wear them all over the place just because. Like, after that happened, there should be anybody. Isn't the Mall of America in Minnesota? I think it is. Not positive, but anybody who lives there needs to get a Jesus t-shirt and go up in the mall in a big group of people. Needs to walk up in there and see what happens. Because they're not going to kick a whole group of people out of there. Now, he wasn't even preaching the gospel. He's literally said that he was just wearing the shirt. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But y'all, this is the upside down. This is the world that we live in. This is the new normal. Yes, call anybody you know lives in Minnesota and say, hey, anybody that's close to the mall, and be like, listen, we got to test this theory. We got to test this out. So can you go get a Jesus t-shirt and go to the mall, please? See what happens. What, baby?
When you were cleaning your room, my coat was in here. Hopefully it's not in the back.
Your other one's in the laundry room, hanging
but
up.
It doesn't have a zipper and I want to play outside. Did you put it in there?
Yes.
Oh,
Love you. I like your shirt. You look cute.
and me and the twins.
Nice.
Yes, they're going.
Okay. All right, you guys. I think they didn't like how the guy looked, not the shirt. Well, they said his shirt was offensive, so he had to leave the mall. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous to me. All right, let's go on to this next thing. Wear it, Cha-Cha. Tell them. All right. Dude dressed as a woman, Rachel Levine, hilariously claims he's broken glass ceilings for women. Now, this was Biden's pick. I've talked about this person before. Oh, thank you, Muse News. I've talked about this person before. So I'll just play the clip.
Admiral Levine. March is Women's History Month, which is why we're all here. And, you are a pioneer and have smashed many glass ceilings. What does that mean to you? And what does it mean to have Women's History Month be celebrated in this way?
Well,
Sorry, I just want to point out I know, I miss you guys too. I just want to point out that this Rachel Levine is a man, not a woman, and was appointed by Biden as the leader of the trans movement, okay? Like, legit, how can you sit there and talk about breaking barriers for women when you're a fucking man? I'm sorry.
Thank you for that question, and thank you for your kind comments. I think Women's History Month is an opportunity for women to support each other. I think that we need to work to empower each other and to provide mentorship and an opportunity for success. So if someone opens a door, like we've been discussing, well, then that door is open for more people to go through in the future.
Mhm.
And that's what I hope that my appointment sort of provides that opportunity, is that other women, women that are part of the LGBTQI+ community have the opportunity to follow their dreams and to maybe go beyond what they might have expected.
Admiral Levine.
Oh Lord, I can't even. Muse News said, how about surgery? Yeah. I mean, look what they're doing. Look at that story we talked about last week, where this father and mother have been in this big, huge custody battle for years, for like 7 years, because this boy, he was 2 years old. He wanted a girl's toy at McDonald's. And so ever since then, the mother has been buying him girls' clothes, making him a girl, doing all this shit. And now she just moved to California, because California. And she wants to have her 8-year-old son chemically castrated so he can become female. Like, that is freaking child abuse. Now, I have said this before. If you're over the age of 18 and you are a consenting adult and it is your decision to do this, then that's your decision. That has nothing to do with anybody else. But this is a child we are talking about. These are adults that have been indoctrinated themselves to thinking that this is normal, that this is the right thing to do. It's terrible. That is freaking child abuse, in my opinion. I mean, and the dad is trying to fight it. All right. Okay, now I want to play this video. Now, I just found it. I didn't know it was from a year ago, but I just found it. It was a girl who was rapping to Eminem. She changed the words, made her own lyrics. It's about how society has become so sensitive and cancel culture all became a thing, all because people are worried about offending others and hurting people's feelings. Now, I don't know if YouTube will allow me, like, I don't know if I will get flagged for this, but I do want to play it because I think it's a very important message. So I'm going to play it for you now.
Now listen up, Gen Z, because I've had enough of it. This whole cancel culture. Damn, y'all are so sensitive. At first I ignored it, but now you crossed the line by going after a very dear friend of mine. You want to cancel Eminem because he's too aggressive and mean. Your feelings are hurt. You wish his lyrics were more clean. How dare he openly speak about such violent things like murdering his wife? Now we're all arguing about whether or not to play his music on air. This generation thinks they control what's not theirs, trying to cancel what you weren't around for in the first place. How about instead you just learn to embrace Eminem's a lyricist. He paved the way for your favorite rappers to say what they can say today. If you can understand him, that is, I don't have a clue. Maybe that's the difference between millennials and you. You can't get offended by what someone's saying when they're mumbling and stumbling over the words, and it's crumbling to think a generation that's so open-minded can't appreciate this and put the past behind them.
I freaking love that. I freaking love that. Like, exactly, though. You know, and that's the problem, right? Gen Z wanting to cancel everything and this cancel culture. And, oh, if it offends me, I don't want anything to do with it. I shouldn't even have to hear it if it's offensive. Y'all weren't even around for all this shit that happened. Like, y'all are, you know what I mean? You weren't here for it. So it's going back and trying to change it. It's like everybody wanting to change history, tearing down statues, trying to freaking erase history for what it was. Listen, there was bad people throughout history. There was good people throughout history. But just because you don't agree with it today doesn't mean you get to cancel it. Doesn't mean you get to tear down all the statues and pretend like it never happened and try to rebuild us in this world that is so far upside down that it's insane. You know, more people, hey, you want to be open-minded, then freaking be open-minded. Let people say what they want to say. Let people be who they want to be, but don't force it on other people. You know what I mean? Don't be so sensitive that you want to cancel things and your feelings get hurt and yada, yada, yada. Pen Dizzy. Oh my. All right. See, and the problem here too, so this next little clip I'm going to bring up is, okay, this 14-year-old boy. Okay, so this boyfriend and girlfriend, this girlfriend, she was 14. She broke up with her boyfriend, who was also 14. Okay. She was like, listen, you know, whatever, we can't be together. We got to break up for whatever reason. He shot her in the head a bunch of times. She survived, but he shot her in the head multiple times because she wanted to break up with him. That's not normal, you know, but unfortunately, this kid had it in his head that that was okay, that was what people did. Like, he was so hurt and offended that this girl wanted to break up with him that he thought he had the right to shoot her in the head.
Right now at 5, a walking miracle. That's what the mother of a 14-year-old girl is saying this evening after her daughter survived after being shot several times by her teen boyfriend.
This happened over the weekend near 21st and Memorial Drive in Racine. That boy is charged as an adult.
Uba Ali sat down with the girl's mom, who tells us how her daughter is defying the odds.
She's just so proud to be alive.
Miranda Perales says her 14-year-old daughter, Jasleen Jones, is talking, walking, and smiling at Children's Wisconsin just 2 days after being shot several times.
She's still her spunky self. She can't wait to put on her makeup.
Investigators say Jasleen was shot in the head 3 times by her 14-year-old boyfriend when she tried to break up with him. They say the boyfriend admitted to shooting Jasleen in what he called a, quote, fit of rage.
I had no idea. No idea he had a gun.
Perales says her daughter dated the teen for more than a year. She never noticed any concerning signs.
I bought the kid Christmas presents, you know? I mean, you never know that type of stuff until the mask is unveiled.
This is truly domestic violence at age 14. Did you ever think that was even possible?
I did not think that was possible. I did not think that was possible just because they're kids. And I didn't think evil was in kids.
The 14-year-old is charged as an adult with attempted first-degree intentional homicide. Considering the trauma Jasleen went through,
she's a walking miracle.
Her family is thankful her brain function wasn't impacted.
She's lost sight in one of her eyes, but the doctors told her she's going to be able to do everything that people with 2 eyes can do.
Jasleen will also have to live with several bullets lodged in her body, but she's taking the worst day of her life.
God gave her the second chance.
And using it to speak up for those in violent relationships.
This is her new path, and I'm going to help her in every way possible.
In Wauwatosa, Uba Ali, TMJ4 News.
I mean, it's insane that domestic violence is a thing within teenage relationships. It's crazy to me that that is the world that we live in. Not only is it upside down and crazy, but there's so much violence. There's so much it's just crazy to me that teenagers have to worry about this. You know what I mean? Like, that's not okay. But you know what? That girl survived. It is a miracle that she survived. And now she can go on and spread her message. But the mom said she had no clue that this kid was even capable of this. And he says that it was in a blind fit of rage. So I kind of wonder how that court hearing is going to go. All right. Mothers of teenagers, though, look out for the signs, because DV knows no age. DV knows no gender. DV knows no bounds. I know, Sassafras. I thought about that when they said that she had to live with them lodged in her body, because if they move or slightly move, it could go wrong. All right. All right, now I'm going to read this to you guys. Why is society so sensitive now? From cancel culture to political correctness gone mad, are people too sensitive these days? We all have a right to free speech. But it seems that problems start to arise whenever that free speech is exercised to say something that's unpopular. In a bid to create an increasingly tolerant society, are we in some ways becoming less tolerant to divergent voices? And is this really a bad thing? Is society becoming too sensitive? Absolutely. The unpopularity of political correctness. If it feels like political correctness is an ever-expanding concept, then it might also be a deeply unpopular one. That's according to a survey conducted by an international research initiative, which found some 80% of people in the U.S. see PC excess as a problem. Among the general population, a full 80% believe that political correctness is a problem in our country. Even young people are uncomfortable with it, including 74% ages 24 to 29 and 79% under age 24. On this particular issue, the woke are in a clear minority across all ages. Youth isn't a good proxy for support of political correctness, and it turns out race isn't either. Whites are ever so slightly less likely than average to believe that political correctness is a problem in the country. 79% of them share this sentiment. Instead, it is Asians 82%, Hispanics 87%, and American Indians 88% who are most likely to oppose political correctness. Meanwhile, in poll by the Pew Research Center, the difficulty in striking a balance between freedom of speech and being mindful of others was also highlighted. Now, people from the US, UK, Germany, and France were asked whether people today are too easily offended by what others say, or whether people should be careful what they say to avoid offending others. The US, 57% of people today are too easily offended by what others say. 40% of people should be careful what they say to avoid offending others. Germany, 45% are too easily offended. 40% think they should be careful. France, 52% are easily offended. 46% say they need to be careful what they say. UK, 53% today are too easily offended, and 44% should or think they should be careful of what they say to not offend anybody else. What the research does seem to suggest is that, generally speaking, the majority of people do have some concerns that society can be becoming overly sensitive. But that is absolutely what is happening. It's an idea that goes hand in hand with author and speaker Simon Sinek's somewhat scathing take on self-entitled millennials born at a time where every child wins a prize. But let's face it, it's always easy to point the finger at younger generations as being to blame. Something poked fun at in a meme I recently stumbled across. Now, see, that's the problem, though. It's the problem is like Gen Z, for example, who they get offended by everything that somebody says. They're way too oversensitive. And because they get offended, they think others should not be able to say it. They think people should not be able to say their opinions or state their opinions or their beliefs and why, because it offends them. Well, I can say that it's easy to blame the people that are coming up with all of this now because it wasn't a thing before this generation existed. It was not a freaking thing, which we've talked about. Hold on, let me close that out. Oh, thank you. But I think, see, these are the kind, I think that this is important stuff that we need to be discussing. I think this is real life. This is the world we all live in. This is the world our children live in. And it's our responsibility and it's our job to stand up and say, hey, wait a second, what the hell is going on? Right? It's crazy. Okay. Let me go on to this next thing. All right. Parental rights are under attack. Now, this was written January 13th of this year. The bad news is that parental rights are under attack all across the country. The good news is that our side is fighting back. It is hard for those who want to sunder parental rights to admit it openly, which is why they typically engage in stealth campaigns. The fact that those involved in this scam are working in the White House, education, and healthcare is alarming. And once again, it is the ruling class that is the problem. We have prepared a report citing several examples of this furtive agenda. Here's a few examples. On April 27th, 2022, President Biden told educators they're not somebody else's children. They're like yours when they're in the classroom, which is exactly why teachers and shit are doing things and saying things and doing to your children that you're totally unaware of. Because Biden said, hey, when they're in the classroom, they're like your children. Do what you would do. Oh, hell no, they are not your children. They are somebody else's children. You do not have the right as a teacher to put your fucking political and non-political beliefs onto my child. I am sorry. You don't. Your job as a teacher is to teach them reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic, and all of that bullshit. It is not to teach them what kind of people they should be. Not your damn job. On July 14th, 2022, it was reported that Biden's CDC was encouraging LGBT youth to engage with Q Chat Space. This online chat space where youth can discuss sex, polyamorous relationships, the occult, sex change operation, and activism. It is designed with a quick escape feature so it can easily be hidden from parents. Are you all listening? On July 14th, 2022, Biden told LGBT youth to use this chat space where it can easily be hidden from parents. And you don't see a problem with that? People don't see a problem with them trying to parent your children and indoctrinate your children and hide it from you. Do you remember last week when I said schools are doing this, and not only are they doing this, not only is it going to confuse the children, but it's also going to cause a divide between you and your children. It's exactly what they're doing. And the president is the one pushing this garbage. It's insane to me that this is even allowed. It's insane to me that this is even happening and parents sit back and do absolutely nothing. And why? Because they're afraid of offending other people. Because they're afraid of speaking out and hurting somebody else's feelings. Because they have it in their head that they need to be PC these days. Bullshit. Oh, I know he's just a puppet, Pam. But this puppet is putting this shit into your children's heads. That's all I'm saying. All right. On September 29th, 2021, the National School Board Association sent a letter to the Biden administration accusing parents of being domestic terrorists because parents were outraged over attempts to sneak critical race theory and gender ideology into schools. That's right. That is right. Parents who were speaking out against it were told that they were domestic terrorists. Why? Because they didn't agree with the agenda that they were pushing. And so they were labeled as domestic terrorists. It is disgusting, the kind of shit that they get away with. On September 5th, 2022, it was reported that schools across the country were using changes in title by the Biden administration to hide information on children's sexual orientation and gender identity from their parents. Schools across the country were told by the Biden administration to hide children's sexual orientation and gender identity from their parents. So many parents are totally unaware of the bullshit that their children are getting while they are in school. On September 5th, 2022, we learned that Lurie Children's Hospital in Chicago worked with gender support coordinators to facilitate sex and gender transitions for students. This was done under a confidential policy that allowed this to occur behind the backs of parents. The program features radical gender theory, kink, and trans-friendly sex toys for children. Yes, you heard me correctly. How can anybody not get pissed off and outraged by this? Somebody tell me. Like Jade Hunter, I get what you're saying, but this is just so far beyond the reach of politics. This is parents. They are coming in and doing this to children, changing the way children think, putting this shit in children's heads and doing it behind the parents' back and saying that it's okay. Yeah, Muse News is flabbergasted. It's crazy. All right, let me go back to that. Oh, and oh man. Yeah. Children belong to their parents. They do not belong to the state. Parental consent is not only a right, it is an imperative. Government officials, educators, and healthcare workers who disagree and are actively subverting the rights of parents need to be outed and dismissed. Does anybody in this chat disagree with that statement that I just said? I mean, schools are so bad for kids these days in so many ways. Not only is the state stepping in and teachers stepping in and doing this to your kids behind their back, sexually confusing them, introducing them to shit that they're way too young to be introduced to, going behind parents' backs to do it. But schools do not raise you to be successfully, they do not. They're like a cookie cutter factory, okay, to just push out more 9-to-5 slaves. They don't teach kids to be independent, successful business owners because that's not what they want. They want more 9-to-5 slaves. They want you living in this schedule. They want you doing this. It's crazy. But again, it just goes beyond that to this, to them going behind parents' backs, changing your children without your permission. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. And for people to sit back and do nothing baffles me. More people need to stand up and fight against this crap that is happening. You can agree or disagree, you can whatever. But the one thing that we should all agree on is raising your children is your freaking job. Not the state's, not the president's, not the teachers, not anybody else's, but yours. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, so let me get rid of that. I mean, it just makes me mad and it makes me sad that parents have given these rights away and they've just let them handed it over to the schools. Those parents that know about it and do nothing, disgusting. There is no excuse for that. Those parents who don't know about it, I'm trying to bring awareness. I'm trying to tell you that this is what is happening behind closed doors that you do not know about. And that should not be okay with anybody. All right. So please share this video with any parents that you know. Share it because some people are totally unaware and don't even know that this shit goes on. All right. Oh, thank you, Pam. All right. LA schools adopt radical trans-affirming agenda to attack gender binary.
Facing record high inflation, record gas prices, and are having less say in their kids' education. And now families are fearing what challenges lie ahead during the next 2 years of President Biden's term. Keisha King is a Florida mom and senior director of Moms for America. Natalia Marukver is a New York City mom, and Cheryl Onderchain is a single mom of 3 from Virginia. Good morning to you all. It is great to see you. So we're talking about the future of our country. And Cheryl, when you think about the future of the country, our minds immediately go to our children and their education. You live in Loudoun County, which is really ground zero for the battle over our schools. Which side do you think is winning right now?
Well, I absolutely think that our side gets stronger and stronger every day. I mean, over the last 2 years, the momentum that we have gained in waking parents up to what's actually going on in government schools, it's been really refreshing to see. You know, more people are getting involved, more people are realizing that they need to show up and vote in all elections, not just a presidential election. You know, the culture of the left has gotten so toxic that it really needs to be attacked on every level of government. And I actually started a chapter of Moms for Liberty here in Loudoun County. And, you know, that's our mantra. We are fighting for parental rights on all levels of government. We need to turn this country around. These teachers unions are evil and they have, you know, really taken over government education, and we need to stop it.
Well, Keisha, I'm sure that what Cheryl just said is music to your ears, because you're also worried about our children's education. And we do talk a lot about the social issues and, you know, the critical race theory that is being pushed on some children. But you also make the point that a lot of schools are failing our kids academically as well.
Yes, it's absolutely true. So 29 to 49% of children across the country are not reading at a 4th grade level. A 4th grade level by the time that they are in 4th grade. And so, I mean, that is astonishing that America is producing children and graduating children that cannot read at levels that they need to go on to do what they need to do in the next phases of life. So, it is very important that we pay attention to not only, the social issues, but actually what are they learning when they are in these government schools? Are they getting what they need to be prepared for the next phases of life? And clearly, if they can't be prepared there, then they're not going to be prepared when we have economic crises like we do right now. They're not going to be prepared to handle, just simple things of dealing with life issues and the stresses of life if you can't properly if you're not properly educated. So, and I think that's done on purpose so that children will continue to be dumbed down and they will just be minions of the state. And I think that's what certainly teachers unions and certainly the Biden administration wants.
Natalia, there are so many issues facing our country right now, but all of them really pale in comparison to safety. If your family doesn't feel safe, if they're in danger, then that's the number one issue that I'm sure people think about. You live in New York City. Is crime on your mind?
Crime is definitely on my mind. I mean, I've lived in New York City for most of my adult life. I was born in the Soviet Union and came to New York in the late 70s when crime was quite high. The subways were, in a pretty dire state in the 80s. We had the Bernie Getz subway shooting, and it was just a very tough and tumultuous time in New York City. So I'm kind of a jaded New Yorker. I do think that we'll get there. I think that this is a time of transition. Crime is on my mind, but more importantly for me right now, the fact that our children in our city are still being held as hostages to our administration. Mayor Adams just yesterday stated that they're considering vaccine mandates for our children, most of whom have recovered from COVID once or twice. I think the CDC says that our children have 75% of our children have actually already had COVID. Probably in New York City, the number is much higher. And potentially that would keep, hundreds of thousands of children out of school come the fall because many of those children's parents have chosen to not vaccinate them. So the fact that we haven't returned to normal, that athletics is still not normal. High school and middle school athletes can't play in public school athletics if they're not vaccinated. And then, if you don't have a ball in your hand, you probably have a gun. I mean, these kids have fallen prey to gangs, and our administration is completely blind to this. They continue to perpetuate these politically driven, not public health driven policies that are really destroying our city. It's a manufactured crisis.
Keisha King, Natalia Murukvar, and Cheryl Onderchain, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. Such interesting perspectives from the three of you. We so appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
I mean, right there, you've got parents that are aware. You've got parents that are telling people what is going on. But it is a manufactured crisis, Muse News. And then the state's going to come in and be like, oh, well, we've created the crisis. Now here, we're going to give you the solution. But as far as I'm concerned, the only solution is removing your children from public education because it's harming them. It's not doing them any good. All right. Let me go on to this next. Thank you guys all for being here. Please hit that thumbs up. Please consider subbing to the channel if you have not already. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. It really helps. And please share this video. Please share this to every person that you know that is a parent. This is important, and we need parents to fight back. We need parents to stand up, and we need parents to go against this garbage and this shit that is happening to their children. All right.
Will never comply with the lies of transgender ideology. Men are not women. Men will never be women. Females are the rightful keepers of birth and of humanity.
Former trans and gay activist is turning the tables after witnessing what she believes is propaganda about gender in high schools. Now she works as a deprogrammer to help parents and indoctrinated children.
Joining us now to tell us more is Kay Yang. Kay, thanks for being here. So you're helping.
Good morning.
Right now you're trying to help deprogram kids, but you used to be pushing the same thing that you're fighting against now. What were you pushing, and why did you decide it was so bad for kids?
That's right, Pete. Good morning to you, Pete and Emily. When I was in my early 20s, I was paid with funding from the New York State Department of Health to indoctrinate public school children with gender identity and transgender ideology. We use themes of acceptance, anti-bullying, and suicide prevention
yes.
in order to gain sympathy and trust from teachers and parents. And 10 years ago, no one had ever heard of a trans child. The work I was doing at the LGBT Center was helping to pave the way for the creation and normalization of the so-called trans child. Children are not trans, and children cannot consent to puberty blockers, wrong sex hormones, and surgeries that alter their healthy bodies and sterilize them.
So Kay, right now you work with families to help deprogram their children. What does that cost? How long does it take? Is this your full-time position? Tell us more a little bit about what you're doing now in that way.
Yes, thank you. So I'm completely independent and I represent only myself. I'm not here to sell any services. The conversations that I have with parents of children and teens who've been indoctrinated with gender identity ideology are confidential, and they come from direct referrals through people and organizations that I have established relationships with already. The work I do is completely non-coercive. I'm not here to force anyone to listen to me. I seek to provide research, information, and resources that mothers, fathers, grandparents, and families in general can use to empower themselves to make the best choices for them and their children.
Thank you for that. But I just want to be clear here. So, this has become a business. How much does a family pay someone to help someone else deprogram their child?
So the work that I do is largely for free. It's not a for-profit. It's not a job for me. It's something that I do out of my heart because I feel for the parents and families that are struggling with this, because I know so intimately what they're going through, as I was indoctrinated and programmed to this ideology myself.
That's good.
Hey,
that's great.
We're almost out of time, but is it going to get worse? Are they going to keep pushing this?
Yes, I think it is going to get worse. The gender identity industry has really spread its tentacles into every facet of our society. I think that's clear. This is a coordinated attack on our children, and it's being done in the name of trans rights. It's being perpetrated on the local level, the state level, and a federal level, and from the direction of global governing bodies like the United Nations and the World Economic Forum.
We're running out of time, but thank you for sharing this and for your courage to stand up. We appreciate it. More Fox and Friends.
Thank you so much, Pete and Emily.
I mean, you got it right there. You have somebody who used to be a pusher for the trans agenda, saw what it was doing to kids, and was like, whoa, wait a second. We are really screwing these kids up here. Now I'm going to become a deprogrammer, and I'm going to teach parents and families how to fight the bullshit, how to fight the brainwashing. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. But I mean, you have people who were pushing that who can clearly see what it's doing to kids. So why in the hell is anybody allowing it to continue? It is crazy. By the way, Pam and Shelly Hall, thank you both so much for the super stickers. I so appreciate them. Thank you. But it's just wrong what is happening, you guys. And we have to step up as a society. We can't sit back because it's not going to change. It's just going to get worse. Their reach is going to get farther and farther. And if we don't do anything about it, we're just part of the problem. We need to stand up as a society, take back control of our kids, take back control of what they are learning, take back control of their education, and really raise kids to be the future, raise them to be successful, raise them to be good, have a moral compass, know right from wrong, stand up when they see wrong happening. That is what we need more of. We don't need more of these people pushing this garbage. We don't need it. Your kids don't need it. It's not good for them. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. All right, now I'm going to read this real quick thing, and I want to see talked about more. Yes, Squirrely, this needs to be talked about every day. So I will say it again. Please share this video. Please share it with anybody you know that has children or any grandparents. Aunts, I don't even care. Aunts, uncles, share it with anybody because this is really what is happening today. This is reality of what is happening to these kids today. And not enough people talk about it. I don't think that enough people talk about it at all. I think people don't talk about it because they're worried about offending people. No, listen, we are past that. When this damage is being done to our children, to your children, no, we're past that. We're past worrying about hurting people's feelings. Take back your power. Take back your power as parents. Take back your power as human beings. And take back your kids' future, because if you don't, they're not going to have one. All right, what is being politically correct? Conforming to a belief that language and practices which could offend political sensibilities, as in matters of sex or race, should be what? Eliminated. Don't be a part of that. I say screw PC. I'm not worried about being politically correct. You guys know that. I just try to keep it real. I try to tell it like it is. And you guys, the bottom line is schools, educators, the state, everyone is coming in, telling your children things behind your back, doing these things in schools behind your back, and telling them to keep it from you, actually showing them where they can go and to literally hide it from you. They're causing a divide between you and your children. They are causing a divide. So not only, again, are they sexually confusing your children, giving them anxiety like we've never seen before in kids, but they're drawing a gap between you and your child. And they are doing that for a reason. So your child will go to them, will learn from them, and you're nothing. You're just the people that gave them life. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. So what do you guys think? I mean, I want to hear, what are your thoughts? Good morning, or good afternoon, Lazy Llama. Miss Pookie's Grammy, welcome to the CNY family. Thank you for joining. Exactly, Aaron. They want to destroy the family unit. The actual family is under attack. Exactly. Your first responsibility is to protect your children. And you're not protecting them by sending them to the schools to be indoctrinated and to get all this garbage that they're being taught and that they're being told. Oh, okay. Sugar, I will check that out. Thank you. I'm going to do another live tonight, later on tonight, about this same thing, but I have a bunch of different stuff that I want to talk about. So I want to thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Shelly and Pam, for the super stickers and super chats. You guys rock. People need to wake up. People need to realize what is happening, and you need to do it for your kids. That's all I'm saying. Don't worry about being politically correct. Don't worry about hurting other people's feelings. The world is too damn sensitive. Thank you, Muse News. So again, please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Please consider becoming a member of the family. Oh no, you're good, Casey. But I think we all need to be talking about this. So yeah, thank you guys. Anybody that wants to donate to the channel, links are all down in the description below. I will post on my community page about what time I'm going to come on later, but I'm definitely coming back on. I want to continue talking about this, and I want you guys to share this, please. So I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions and keep spreading that light. And stand up for your children. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Thank you, Jade. All right, I'll see you guys later.